Hi everybody, I am That Nursing Prof and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I wanted to make one that kind of contains some tips for the brand new nurse because there are a lot of people who are now just past the NCLEX, they're entering the workforce. Nursing is kind of crazy right now with everything going on in healthcare, so I wanted to make a quick little video for those people, for those new nurses. Or if you're in nursing school and you're going to be graduating soon, you can use this video in the future. So the first tip I wanted to give you was use your orientation time wisely. Don't be afraid to ask questions. I know sometimes it can be kind of intimidating and you feel like, well, everyone expects me to know everything. They don't. People do not expect you to know everything already. This is a great time to ask questions. And I want you to take every new experience as a learning experience, even if it didn't go well, even if it was a mistake or an error or something negative happened, there were negative outcomes. Everything is a learning experience, especially when you're brand new and you're just getting started. Sometimes things will happen and you don't mean them to happen or you don't want them to happen. You might have a physician who's not very friendly or a patient whose needs are not capable of being met. Or maybe you're dealing with, your nurse mentor is not very active in their role in teaching you. Unfortunately, these things happen. So you need to take everything with a grain of salt. Understand that this is all a learning experience and that it's going to make you a better nurse in the future. Delegation is also something we need to work on as the new nurse. For most of us, this is a brand new skill, right? In nursing school, you weren't allowed to delegate. You had to do everything by yourself. Now you're getting to delegate to assistive personnel, and that can be overwhelming and confusing because the accountability is still on you. I remember when I was a brand new nurse, I didn't delegate anything at first because I thought, I have to do everything myself. I have to do all my vitals, empty all my catheters, everything myself. And when I started working a little bit longer and I got to know the policies and the procedures and the people that I worked with a little bit better, that trust formed and I was able to start delegating more and more to assistive personnel. But that is something that is new. It's a new skill you haven't gotten a chance to practice before because you didn't do it in school. So give yourself some time, and over time it'll be a lot easier. Another key thing you'll need to work on as a new nurse is what they call resting nurse face. And maybe you've already heard of that. What that means is sometimes we experience situations that are not ideal, right? Patients can be upset, they can be angry, they can be confused, they can be mean, right? So in those situations, what you say and what you don't say is going to be communicated to them. Remember, nonverbal communication is most communication. That's how people perceive us. So when you're in those situations, those kind of different situations with the patient where maybe they're not super happy or maybe a doctor's yelling at you, something like that. Don't show it, okay? Don't show your emotion on your face. Keep it professional, keep it calm, always try to de-escalate, and always go up the chain of command when appropriate. So resting nurse face is something you need to kind of keep in your back pocket, and it gets better over time, you get better at it. Sometimes you'll be like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening, right? But you can't act that way. You have to stay calm and focused. And then as you are working as a nurse like longer, you'll get better at it and you'll know how to stay calm in those situations. A big stress for the brand new nurse is time management. How am I going to see all of these people in my 8-hour or 12-hour shift and do all the things that need to get done? So this is something, again, that's going to take time. You're going to get better at as you go. But some tips, write stuff down. I'm sure you've heard of a nursing brain. Make yourself a nursing brain that's going to work best for you. So take notes on your patients, organize your patients, kind of set a time frame. Okay, I need to see these patients first. These are my priority patients. I need to give these meds at this time and try to clump things together. Organize your tasks and skills. And if you have something that is going to take a little bit longer, like an admission or a discharge, or the patient requires education, teaching on something, make sure that you have blocked out time to do those things. And always be prepared for an emergency or a distraction. You might have the best plan of the day, like this is how I'm going to take care of my patients, and all of a sudden somebody has a fall and it throws everything off. Or, oh no, all of a sudden they need to go to cath lab or x-ray or something like that. They're taken off the floor and you can't do all the things you need to do. So always be prepared for unexpected interruptions or emergencies. You don't want to be that nurse that's still charting there at 9 o'clock at night. You don't want to be there after your 12-hour shift or after your 8-hour shift just to do charting. So chart as you go. See your patient, write down the relevant things on your brain, then go chart. Then go see the next one. Take it patient by patient, hour by hour. That way you don't get over busy or overwhelmed. And kind of another thing related to that, we talked about delegation before. Delegation is what's going to also help you with time management so you don't feel overwhelmed by the amount of tasks you have to do during your shift. The last thing I wanted to mention in this video is the importance of self-care. Now I do have a whole nother video on self-care that I will link below, but a few key things I wanted to point out. This is a very exciting time being a brand new nurse getting your first job, but it can also be very stressful and scary and overwhelming, and that's okay to feel that way. Lots of people do. It's normal. You want to make sure you're taking the time to take care of yourself physically and mentally. You want to avoid burnout, too much stress because of the new job. And then there is kind of that stereotype of nurses, like they teach patients about how to be healthy and yet they drink a Monster Energy drink for breakfast, right? Don't be that person, right? Try to be physically healthy too, because that's going to affect your mental health and how you perform every day at your job. If you have questions like we talked about before, ask. But also if you have concerns, if you feel overwhelmed, if you feel like I can't handle this, it's too much, tell somebody, tell the educator on your unit. That's the person you're going to go to. Or your preceptor, if you trust your preceptor to talk to them that way, tell them. Help identify those issues so that you can fix them and you can learn from them. And like I said in the beginning, we all have negative experiences sometimes. They're kind of unavoidable. But if that happens to you, try to learn from it, reflect, see what you can do differently in the future. This is an exciting time, it's a fun time, and I want you to use it as the learning opportunity it is. So that was my video. I hope you found this helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. And if not, I'll see you on the next one.